should we expect some kind of Multiversus announcement at the Game Awards in just over a week's time? Well, maybe we actually should, because very recent evidence points to something happening for the game. But at the same time, we really shouldn't expect anything to be announced at the Game Awards, if past history is anything to go by. I know that was a little confusing, but let's discuss, shall we? So earlier this year, in March, I believe, Tony Wynn and the team at Player First Games made the tough decision to take the game Multiversus offline, and it pretty much bummed out the entire player base, right? Like, hey, I wanted to play the game that some people even paid money for, by the way, but it bummed out a lot of the players. However, in that same letter that Tony recited back to the players, it did state that they would promise to bring Multiversus back to the players with a return target date of early 2024. Now, last time I checked the calendar was right now, and it's the very end of November, which means we only have 1 month left of 2023. So early 2024 is, well, a little over a month away. Not saying it's going to happen January 1st, but you get my pitch, right? You get the idea I'm trying to spin here. So in that same letter that Tony recited to the players, it also tells us that we were supposed to be getting updates about Multiversus along the journey that it's been making behind the scenes. Now, up until this point of recording this video, we haven't had any official updates about the game. So maybe they're holding off on something, maybe they're not quite ready to share, even though we got some good evidence here in just a second stating a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. But we have had one or two kind of small hints about what's to come, and I will share those details in just a couple minutes. But a few weeks back, our friendly neighborhood data miner friend Lysol provided us some really good news about Multiversus, stating that the game's publishing QA branch as well as the pre-deploy branch were getting updated for the first time in months. What that meant was kind of speculatory still on the fans' part, but what we could deduce from that was definitely Multiversus behind the scenes was on the right track. Things were happening behind the scenes. The game was being worked on, essentially. That's great news. Good. The devs are still working on the game, so that means the game's coming back, right? So check out this very recent news provided by Lysol once again. Lysol tells us that both publishing branches have been updated again. Again, the game is being worked on. Fantastic. I'd like to hear that. That's fantastic. What have they been working on? We don't quite know, but things are happening, so good. And then check out this. This just popped up during me recording this video. But Lysol now states there have been 5 updates to the internal dev branch, which is the main development branch for the game, and 5 updates within the past 24 hours. Basically, that tells us the devs are updating the game like crazy very recently. Now, we could chalk it up to, in the United States here, we just had Thanksgiving, so maybe they had somewhat of a break. Maybe they had a week break, 3 days off. Who knows what it was? But maybe this is the devs updating everything after they just came back from their little holiday break, if you will. Maybe that's what it is. But still, 5 updates in 24 hours on the main development branch. Yeah, that's pretty big news. That's pretty big news. So starting to get a little excited, right? So looking at all that great news, as fans, we will probably expect some kind of official announcement soon. And what better place to do it than the place that Multiversus won Fighting Game of the Year, the Game Awards. They just won it 1 year prior. 1 year prior. So some people might still have Multiversus in their mind a little bit. Plus, a lot of eyes will be on this event. So it does kind of sound like it's the perfect place to start building up the Multiversus hype train once again. I mean, here, I referenced this a little earlier, so take a look at this tweet. This is from, I believe now, a former Player First Games developer who, if I remember correctly, worked on character models, and they were asked if they could give us any sort of hint about an upcoming character, and they did tell us one of the characters is always mad. Or is it always angry? I don't have the tweet in front of me, but you guys see it. They gave us a hint about a future character. So we got little bits of breadcrumbs here and there about something at least, which is good. If they're able to tell us little things like this, I mean, if you can't get excited off of that, then what can you get excited for? Maybe an official announcement at the Game Awards? But then again, maybe don't expect that whatsoever. Because on the flip side of the coin, just look at what happened with Multiversus situation at the Game Awards last year. I don't mean them winning Fighting Game of the Year. I'm talking about the situation where a YouTuber named Papa Gino's claimed that he had a source that told him a new character reveal for Multiverses was going to guarantee happen to be revealed at the Game Awards, and the character was supposed to be the Joker. Now that idea started to spread like wildfire last year. Everybody was getting hyped for the new character reveal. Like, cool, season 2 kind of just started. Everyone's getting excited, new character. And then the Game Awards went on for what, like 3 hours, 3.5 hours, whatever that was. And you know how many Multiverses announcements for new characters happened? 0. So the reason I bring that up is just because we start to speculate or we try to connect imaginary dots in our head doesn't mean it's gonna happen at the end of the day. It's kind of like, if anybody's a wrestling fan, if you're a CM Punk fan specifically, and you were never expecting to see CM Punk back in WWE ever again, and then you just watched Survivor Series this past weekend, show's about to go off the air, Survivor Series, the watermark logo hits in the bottom right hand corner, and then all of a sudden CM Punk's music hits and out he comes, to the excitement and the joy and the disbelief of so many people that never thought it was going to happen again. The point with that being, don't expect something. That way, if it does happen, it's that much more enjoyable. So somebody might say something and you might want to believe it because that's what you want in the end, but don't get caught up in thinking that it will happen just because you want it to happen. So I guess in closing, what I'm trying to say with this whole thing, hype responsibly.